This might be my favorite horror movie of the year so far. The first Omen finally hit streaming, so I finally watched it, and I liked it so much I watched it again the next night. Let's just start out by saying, making a prequel of a movie as iconic as the original Omen is dangerous territory. When you're doing anything that relates to such like an iconic classic horror movie, it's dangerous. But I think the makers of the first Omen 1000% did it justice. The main reason that I love this movie is the cinematography was so visually beautiful. There were some shots in this movie that were so stunning to look at. And at the same time, there were some shots in this movie that were just downright deeply unsettling. This movie pushed limits that I was not expecting it to push. Like specifically, there are many scenes surrounding birth. And it's one of those things where you think the camera is going to cut away and the camera simply does not cut away. And again, some of the images are just downright shocking, but still beautifully done. The performances in this movie were incredible, specifically the main actress that plays Margaret. There is one moment towards the end where her performance is such a callback to 1981's Possession, and it's just so incredibly done. And this movie as a whole is just such like a love letter to the original Omen. Like there were so many callbacks to the original movie, but they spun it in their own way. And the storyline to me just made sense. Like I really like how they answered the question of where Damien came from. And even though there's certain parts that we obviously were expecting because it's a prequel, they put a twist on it that I was not expecting at all. The only kind of gripe I have with this movie is there were parts that didn't feel like it was set in the 70s for me. I'm seeing a lot of people actually say the opposite, that they really did get the 70s feel, but I personally didn't. And I get that can be tough to do with a modern film, so I'm not mad about that. But overall, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. I think it had everything that I want in a horror movie. It was gruesome, it was visceral, it was beautifully reminiscent of the original Omen, and again, I think they absolutely did the original movie justice.